Hi everyone, it's Brett. I haven't played Animal Crossing New Horizons for a while. I've decided to revisit the game again. It's good to be back. Hold on. Why is there a wardrobe there? What was I thinking? A wardrobe outside of a house sitting on grass is not normal. Well, I'll just talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons without explaining the questionable decisions I made back then. First, I'll go back to the past. Animal Crossing New Horizons was released on March 20th, 2020. I got the game when it first came out, and I remember having a really fun time with it. I played the game for quite a bit for a month or two, and then I stopped. Yeah, I kind of fell off the game and didn't really play it very much afterwards. But now I'm back to take a look at the game again. Animal Crossing New Horizons has a simple premise. Go to a deserted location and get charged a large amount of money from Tom Nook, which puts you into a sizable pit of debt. Pretty similar to other Animal Crossing games, but this game is set on an island, which is great. I'm a fan of beaches, so I'm being biased. I really like that this game is about the player deciding. I can place my house where I want. The museum is put where I say. Shops are built where I demand, and I can place any village or house where I desire. Having control over where things go really gives me the feeling that I'm in charge of this small island. I can't choose where the town square goes, though. That's a little disappointing, but now it's possible to place furniture and other items outside of your house, which opens the way to personalize your island even more. When I got back to my island, I sure noticed I utilized that feature. Overall, there is a bunch of ways to customize the island, and I enjoyed that amount of freedom. A big part of the game is crafting. It's neat to be able to gather materials throughout the island to craft things. Crafting items like tools and furniture can be rewarding. You can learn to craft new things with these recipes that can be acquired. These recipes are a neat little idea. It's nice not just to have to rely on the shop to get the stuff you want. The crafting brings more options to the table, and that's awesome. Tools are going to be one of the main things that get crafted in the game. The reason is because tools break. Not a fan of this. I understand that the developers want the crafting mechanic to be used a lot, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with having to make a shovel or any other tool once. To be fair, items like the vaulting pole and ladder don't break when using them. This is nice, and I think a good change would be for all the tools to be indestructible. Making this change would mean there would be no point to have different versions of the same tool, because the only reason to make a shovel opposed to a flimsy shovel is because the durability is better. Maybe the more durable tools could instead go quicker or something. That way, there can still be different versions of the same tool. Sure, tools not breaking means crafting won't be utilized as much, but there's still plenty of stuff to craft. One thing I don't like about the crafting is that the animation takes a little long. I have this urge to speed it up, but there's no way to do that. I know this is still faster than it would take me to make a shovel or something in real life, but this isn't fast enough. Also, you can't craft multiple things at once, so the crafting animation will be seen every time an item gets made. This whole slow crafting process isn't that big of a deal, but it would have been nice to speed up the crafting some. I have some problems with the crafting system, and I think it can be improved upon, but this doesn't mean I don't like the concept. Quite the opposite, actually. I do like the crafting mechanic, and I think that the concept of crafting things fits right in with the Animal Crossing experience. I just think that the implementation of the crafting could have been handled better. The item storage is really nice. All I need to do is go to my house and store away. As a person that sometimes has the tendency to hoard items, I have a lot of appreciation for this feature. While on the topic of items, I kinda wish that I could gather items faster, because picking all this stuff up is going to take a while. This is basically the same problem I had with the crafting. I guess I just like the idea of going faster when doing simple tasks. The new Nook Miles currency is a fun addition. One way you can get Nook Miles is by doing random activities such as fishing, catching bugs, hitting rocks, and other things. This gives a good incentive to do this kind of stuff, so I'm not just hitting a rock. I'm hitting a rock with a definitive purpose. There's also a whole list of milestones that can be accomplished. These milestones are completed a lot in the early game and can give a nice motivation boost. Plenty of items and other things can be redeemed with Nook Miles, so they really feel like they are worth the effort to acquire them. Oh yeah, swimming can be done now. This was a feature that came in one of the updates for the game. This is kind of fun. Diving is possible, so that means I can somehow grab a jellyfish without getting stung. I'm happy to see swimming as a part of the game. Looks like the villagers in my island noticed I was gone for some time. The interactions you have with villagers can be charming, and they'll say silly things sometimes. I think Jeremiah has always been my favorite neighbor on my island. Blue frogs are just cool. After coming back to my island, I noticed that he now has some ice cream. I have never seen a blue frog holding ice cream before until now. No wonder he's my favorite. I got to mention the museum. This place is gigantic. I mean, the outside isn't too big, but the interior is insane. The layout of it is very well done, and all the space means there's a lot of stuff to donate to the museum. The whole design of the museum is very impressive. The graphics for the game are very nice. The visual style of the game is so pleasant. Trees and grass look very soft, almost like they're made of cake. The buildings have a nice look to them, and all the other things scattered across the island look pretty neat. When it was raining and I bumped into a tree, little droplets of water fell down. This is such a nice little detail. When it comes down to the general visual presentation of this game, it looks excellent. I will say, the game can get kind of repetitive. When playing the game, I found myself going through the same routine frequently. Animal Crossing can have quite a bit of repetition, and I think that's what made me fall off the game back then. There are plenty of things you can do in Animal Crossing, but you're bound to do the same tasks a lot. Even though there can be some repetitive things, that doesn't take away from how delightful the game is. Animal Crossing New Horizons is not a perfect game, but there's so many good things about it. Animal Crossing is a relaxing game built around having pleasant experiences. This is what the game is all about, and I think it does this sort of thing quite well. So I'd say that Animal Crossing New Horizons is overall a pretty good game. But the best weapon to attack with is a net. This is incredibly disappointing. The combat could have been better.